This podcast is for educational purposes only, does not constitute legal advice, and does not create an attorney-client relationship. If you need legal assistance about a legal problem, contact an attorney.
You went to school for this, you help kids learn, you show up every day. But one simple mistake or even a misunderstanding could put your entire career at risk. Today on Know Your Regulator, we're talking about something that most educators never expect to face, the types of criminal charges that can endanger your Texas teaching certificate, and what really happens when the Texas Education Agency gets involved. When people think about teachers getting in trouble with the state, they usually imagine some sort of misconduct within the classroom. But a surprising number of investigations actually come from off-duty behavior, things that happen outside of the classroom, on weekends, or even years before you started teaching. The Texas Education Agency, or TEA, can suspend, revoke, or deny your certificate if they feel like a crime shows that you have poor moral character or that you're unfit to teach. So it's not just what happens inside the school, it's what happens outside of the classroom, off duty, when you're not wearing a badge. So let's walk through the 5 main categories that get teachers in trouble with TEA. Number 1, crimes involving any children. Any offense involving abuse, exploitation, neglect of a child is handled with zero tolerance. That includes physical abuse, sexual offenses, and the failure to report suspected abuse, which you are a mandated reporter as a teacher. So under Texas law, those findings can lead to permanent revocation and a lifetime ban from school employment. So number 2, we have crimes of moral turpitude. And these are crimes like dishonesty, unethical behavior like theft or fraud. Even a small misdemeanor can raise doubts about your integrity. And it's not about the act itself, but whether the state can trust you with its students and its records. Number 3 is drug-related offenses. A single possession charge can lead to mandatory reporting, and that can lead to a potential suspension. Even if it happened years ago, TEA can still review it during the renewal of your license. And something to note, they look at rehabilitation. So what kind of things have you done to rebuild your life since that offense? They're not just looking at the time that's passed. Number 4 is felonies and violent crimes. So any felony assault, domestic violence, or DUI with injury can endanger your teaching license. And even misdemeanors involving violence can raise concerns about the safety of your students. So number 5 is sexual misconduct and inappropriate relations. TEA must revoke the certification for certain sexual offenses involving students. And even boundary crossing like a DM or a private message can start an investigation. So that zero tolerance policy is also protecting your boundaries too. So if you're arrested or charged, what happens next? By law, the school district is required to report an educator arrest to TEA. So once TEA has that report, they usually initiate an investigation. You'll most likely get a letter asking for your side of the story, some supporting documents, maybe a response to the alleged violation. And from there, TEA can place your certificate on probation. They can suspend it while the case is moving, or sometimes they can even go for full revocation of your license. Now, something really big to note is that even if your criminal case is dismissed, TEA can still take a look at that underlying conduct. Why were you arrested? What was the alleged offense? And how did they feel about that with you being an educator? So that is why early legal advice is so important. It is not just about the court outcomes, it's about protecting your career. So 3 things that every Texas educator should remember. Number 1, be proactive. If you're arrested, even for something unrelated to teaching, talk to an attorney who understands educator licensing. Number 2, understand the gray areas. Not every crime means automatic revocation, but every case does get reviewed. Number 3, never hide it. Don't hide it. Don't try and lie on top of it. Failing to disclose things can become a bigger issue than the charge itself, and honesty gives you the best chance to show rehabilitation. Again, this is something that most teachers would never expect that they would experience in their career. They would never imagine that something in their personal life could threaten their career, but awareness is power. When you know your regulator, you protect your profession, you protect your livelihood, and your peace of mind. I'm Simone Murphy, and this has been Know Your Regulator. If you found this episode helpful, share it with a colleague, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Stay informed, stay compliant, and until next time, continue engaging with your regulatory agency.
Know Your Regulator, the podcast that inspires you to engage.